So, hello.
Oh, it went straight to recording. Okay. And my camera's
Well,
on.
now you sound
But
better.
sounds better, visuals worse. So that's, what happens.
Okay.
But
Well,
since we're
if
basically
everybody,
audio,
if I know anything, the visual quality is the only thing that matters in this podcast.
that's right, because everybody watches it.
Yep.
Sup, I was beating a boss in Donkey Kong.
Did you beat off the
Which Donkey
donkey?
Kong?
Donkey Kong Country 2.
Mm.
Ah, man, I 102%ed that shit. That game's awesome.
Which I only just learned. It's not called Diddy Kong's Quest. It's called
It's
Diddy's
Diddy's
Conquest.
Conquest.
That makes
Yeah.
Yeah,
sense. That's,
Mandela effect. Like there is a
Big fan.
universe where it's Diddy Kong's Quest.
Oh,
Mhm.
Probably
Carl
not
Weathers
this one, though.
fully Mandela affected me. I was like, hasn't he been dead for like 5 or 7 years? And I guess he wasn't.
No, he
Oh,
was in.
yeah, I had that
He was
too.
on the Mandalorian.
I think it's because. Is it just because Apollo Creed died in the Rocky movies?
Didn't he die in like 1986?
Yeah.
No, man, he was in The Mandalorian what feels like very recently, but
Mhm.
you know, I don't remember a lot about that series, but I remember him being in it.
But that's like
I
the
remember
definition.
characters saying things like, "You have to go to Gluppo and find Schleck."
Exactly.
But that's
You
like
have
the
to slurp his
definition.
blonde.
That's the definition of the Mandela effect. You thought someone was dead for 5 years, but they weren't.
I I still just maintain that my memory, because there have been a couple of times when I just thought a movie quote was something, and then I watched the movie and it was completely different than what I thought the quote was, and I'm just like, oh, memory is bad.
Mhm.
Human memory sucks. That's that's all it is, really.
We had a great human memory moment at the weekend. So for whatever reason, we ended up explaining Snicked, Thwip, and Banff
Uh-huh.
to my girlfriend. And then a few hours later, she wanted to reference it. So she was like, she did like a Wolverine clause, but she'd forgotten Snicked. She went, Queef.
Hell yeah. That's like when Wolverine's just he's eating too many like cheese sticks and it's just like farts just come out of his holes instead of the
Out of his
claws.
butt.
They are just like little holes in his body. So sometimes they probably do Queef.
Yeah, they have to.
Like there's got to be times when he gets the claws out. It's just like, but like
Well-
you're not going to call him out on it, are you? He's about to
Do you,
Wolverine
do
you.
you do you
No.
think Wolverine would be embarrassed if that happened, or maybe he just wouldn't care?
The
I think he
first
would
few
just get
times he was,
angrier.
but like by the time he's just a perpetually middle-aged rage machine, I don't think he cares.
It's like directly proportional to how tall his opponent is.
Yeah.
If it's somebody who's shorter than him, then he's fine with it. But if it's like a 6.5 foot tall guy, and he's just like, ah,
If it's like Sabretooth, he's like, oh shit, this guy's never gonna let me live this down.
Yeah. If it's just some no-name ninja, he's going to kill and move on from.
if Jean Grey is like right next to him when it happens, then he just goes and cries later, strokes a picture.
blames it on
Farts
blames
come
it
out
on
of-
blames it on Cyclops.
Yeah. He just stabs Cyclops.
So what is the Hong Kong time anyway?
It's 8:10 a.m.
Okay, yeah, that's
and
why
I just got up and I'm drinking my coffee.
because I confuse these
Nice.
guys by making the time 30 minutes later than usual. But yeah,
Well, see,
Well,
I try to make absolute sure that I know exactly when every podcast is, because the first time I was on a podcast, it was just this guy in Arizona. Like Arizona's time zones are all like fucked up, and he just wouldn't show up for podcasts like maybe 3 different times because he would get the time wrong. It was just
I mean,
like,
I get the time wrong
the hell?
sometimes. It's a brain corker when you're especially when you're getting guests on all the time and stuff.
I'm
But, like-
usually fine across 2 time zones. It's when there's 3 I get fucked up.
I usually get the time wrong, like where I am, a lot.
I mean, yeah, me too. I forget what day it is.
I mean,
what
let
day it
al-
is today.
let alone time zones. I'm walking around thinking it's 3 o'clock. It's 8 a.m.
The one that stresses me
Yeah.
out the most is when we used to have Gordon on, not because he was difficult because his time zone was like this weird 30-minute increment or something, and it was like confusing as shit.
What? Where is the 30-minute increment?
It's
Is that
Australia, right?
Arizona?
It was
Oh man.
the island. Was that Tasmania? Yeah. Anyway, they have some weird
Oh.
time zone crap going on. Yeah, often we get on with like 30 minutes, like to get it like off a little bit. So that always like stressed me out because I never seem to get it right.
Jesus Christ.
So this one
Well,
worked
yeah,
out
but
okay.
imagine the podcast that, like, imagine that you set up a podcast and everyone, like, three people are here in the Zoom room waiting for you, the host of the podcast, to show up, and you don't show up and you're not responding to messages for an hour.
That's
Like, that's
okay.
what this
I
guy
didn't
would do.
that. I didn't do that part, but yeah, I kind of had that going for about 3 minutes, I think. With you in the waiting
He's like a
room, too.
VR
What a little
influencer
bitch
now. You actually explain anytime you're having any problems, you say what the problem is and you explain it, which, I really appreciate because communication's important.
Well,
But anyway.
Will, do you need any primer on what we're doing, or you just want to like jump in head first this
I
time?
li- I listened to a lot of the Jingle All the Way episode, so I pretty
Oh,
much
that's a weird one.
well, I chose it because I felt like I probably needed to listen to you guys listen to watch good movies rather, and watch movies like Mac and Me. So I thought like Jingle All the Way might be the right sort of vibe.
I mean,
So
yeah, our
Kinda,
format
sorta.
changed like slightly since then. I don't put music and we just keep blibber blabbering because that was kind of silly. And
yeah.
we do a few
And we just
things at the
decide
end
if it's a
we-
film or a filth at the end, and read a review that's the 10-star review if it's a quote unquote bad movie, and a 1-star review if it's a quote unquote good movie. And
Oh, is it like we
look
have
it
to
up.
guess which one it is? Because I
No.
have a feeling I know.
No, we have the full list of like bottom 100, top 100.
But I mean,
wasn't-
we get it. We
truly
make
was
our
a
own
question
decisions
yesterday. Yeah, that
Yeah.
truly was a question yesterday, though, when I was Requiem for a Dream, and our guest was like, "So, guys, which list was this on?"
That was the ideal situation because basically all of us had different opinions on the film.
Yeah.
Like,
That was probably actually like an interesting podcast to listen to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to go. I'm actually gonna go and have to edit about 10 seconds of squelchiness, but otherwise, yes, good one.
we saw that.
Well, Jesus.
We saw that.
Oh, you
in the-
mean Mike?
Yeah, because he was in a hotel room. so-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty bad a couple of
Hotel,
times. but I mean,
motel, Holiday Inn.
We
Yeah.
saw that in the theater, and we left after it was done and snuck into "Dude, Where's My Car?" I remember because we just needed to
Double
feel.
feature.
We
It
needed,
feel
yeah,
the drugs are
yeah.
actually okay.
We needed
Yeah.
to feel some. We needed to feel something again, so we snuck into "Dude, Where's My Car?" and it was just the thing. It was like a chaser.
that sounds perfect. Yeah.
Or
Oh
Mac and
man.
Me, if it was playing in the theater, that would have been a good chaser to recommend, which is how we're chasing it.
Violence. I don't know.
I did see Mac and Me in the theater as a child. I have a vivid memory of seeing Mac and Me because like I'm sure what it was my father probably just took me and my friend to the movies and was like, well, that's a kid's movie, and they just dropped us into it. But I really do have a good memory of not being that impressed with it, even though I was a little kid. Little kids like everything, but
Stop.
like I remember
Let me
I
intro the podcast, then you can do this.
All right.
Okay,
That's a good idea.
Sorry.
Good idea. All right.
Matt, what's my number?
81.
85. What? Oh, sorry, it's 85. Sorry, Luke, I did make an arbitrary
Is it 85
decision.
now?
It is because
Oh.
Luke, I did make one arbitrary change because before the strike, Black Christmas was going to be in January, which seems
Oh.
stupid. So I flipped Mac and Me and Black Christmas, but now it's back to the old order because I'm looking at this old list. So it is 85.
Okay. In at number 85. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Now that's more of a heart you made. I mean, it's a visual podcast. It's not a visual podcast. It's an audio podcast, but no, that was a heart. That was like an I
Yeah,
love you.
my
You have to
arms are
scream.
attached, Matt. I can't do anything about that.
Just catch your arms. I don't know. So yeah, where are we? It's Mac and Me, which has specific gestures being made in it. This is Films and Filth. This is Kane podcasting. This is Luke and me. This is
This
Mark
is Luke
and
and Matt.
me.
This is Mark. Yes.
Matt and
Will
me,
Sanders,
and,
our guest, animator,
Hi.
filmmaker, musician, polymath in Hong Kong, from Hong Kong.
Hey guys, from Atlanta in Hong Kong.
Yep. broadcasting from Hong Kong. Is it
Live
broadcasting?
from Hong Kong. It's Saturday night.
Live.
I'd watch that.
That'd be good.
So,
Like, would it be like kind of? Well, now it can't be all the fantasy and stuff, I guess, but in the past,
Is
Oh,
everyone
Jesus.
else hearing Matt like a robot, by the way?
A little bit, yeah.
For a guy
My
who just
rob-
bitched about someone else's mic.
yeah. Am I roboting now?
Yeah.
It's just every so often your words sound like they're digitally
Okay,
being
you know
stretched.
what? If you don't, well, shit, it's record. I'm wondering if I should actually go to iPad then. How different was the audio quality?
I mean, worse, but it wasn't intolerable.
How about now? Is it doing it now? Because I got a message about it being glitchy, but it seems to have gone away.
Well, it just did once.
Okay, I'm gonna switch to iPad then, if you don't mind.
Matt's got to do some editing.
Give Matt
Editing
work.
this week.
Give Matt work. Give Matt work.
He's giving himself work.
I'm giving
That's
myself
true.
work.
This one's on him.
Absolutely true.
It is on me. Okay, in progress. Let's switch.
You have done that yourself.